Okay, so we're ready to do this? All right, so this is the one where we start turning theory into practice. So far we've been looking at theory, seeing how, in an ideal world, light travels in a straight line, and you can kind of get a sense of where to put shadows from the angle of the light, the direction from which the light is coming from these, basic objects here, from these forms that we've been making. Okay, forms from lines and shapes and values and all that kind of good stuff. And so, here's just an example, a simple one that we made that just shows that simple forms creating an object using their shading and using, some of the theory that we've learned about direction and angle to, go ahead and try and figure out where that shadow goes. But now we're talking about real life. So it's kind of easier in a way because you don't have to make near so many decisions as you do when you're drawing imaginatively. But first off, let's see, does it work? All right, so I can't see my monitor at the same time that I'm doing this, so hopefully it does. But you'll see just basically this, right? There it is. There's your light. There's your line. Light traveling in a straight line. Am I right? Yes, it is, right? Yes, it is. So, all good. So let's go ahead and draw something. So now, when I'm looking at something here, I've tried to set things up to where it's as similar to what I'm seeing with my eyes, what you're seeing with the camera. But, this is a camera and I'm using my eyes, and so it's not going to be perfect. So, but hopefully it is good enough. Okay, so when you're doing observational drawing, the first thing that you want to do is kind of draw the whole thing really quickly, and really lightly, right? So here we go. And I'm just going to say, like, okay, I've got something here, sort of a basic shape here, coming on down to here, here. So this is where I want my object to be. Maybe a little bit bigger. We could go a little bit bigger than that, maybe. Something like that. See, drawing lightly so I can change my mind. Okay, good enough, right? And I can even look at, okay, where's my shadow? My shadow seems to be coming off of here. Almost treating that shadow as if it was an object. Okay, where's my background? Background seems to be coming out something like this. Okay, and good enough. Boom, fast, right? So then I can go ahead and I can do some of the details. So one of the things I want to look at is an angle, okay? Once again, hopefully you are seeing the same thing that I am seeing, or at least close. And so I can see the angle of this bottle right here, okay? And look at my angle here, look at my angle here, say, okay, that's about where that angle is. Fine. I can look at how tall or how big something is. So angles, measurements, right? So I can say like, okay, this bottle to me, from where I'm looking, and it might look different on the camera, is about this wide. You see, I'm holding my arm out full length, saying about this wide, right? How tall is it? Well, one, two. It's about twice as wide as it is tall. Excuse me, twice as tall as it is wide. So if I've got here, right? And so I say, okay, here and here. Oh, I'm pretty close. Okay, close enough to get me going, right? Once again, this is not engineering, this is art, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it should just be pretty good. Okay, so now I can start putting in some of my details. So I come on down, drawing really lightly, and coming here, and I'm following the contour lines. In other words, the lines that are going around the outsides of things. Okay, and I can see like, okay, does this come down straight? No, it's got a little bit of a curve to it. Comes down here, and then that's about here, and this is about here, and this comes out here. Something like that. Okay, trying to draw nice and light still. It's just coming down straight here. Okay, and then it's got this bottom ridge right down here and here. And I'm looking at all the different roundnesses. How round is it? Right? Okay. And I've got my shadow in about its place. And so Let's look at this handle a little bit. This seems to come here. Then it comes to a soft sort of angle there. And up here. And it's the shadow really that's making the line. And as a matter of fact, so before we've done everything using, outlines for the most part. But now we can really start to make things a lot more realistic by using differences in values. So what do I mean? So instead of making these outlines really strong, what I'll do is I'll take the color that is around it and it's a darker value, right? And I'll start using that to create my line. So I'm going to draw in here and over here a little bit. Okay. And just shade in a little bit here in this area. And so you can see the line is coming from the outline, excuse me, from the difference in the values around it, not from an outline. Oops. All right, there we go. And you know how pretty I make this area around the bottle kind of just depends on the level of the drawing that I'm doing. So in this tutorial, I'll try and be relatively quick about it, but in your sketchbooks, a drawing should look like it takes about an hour, so you'll have plenty more time. Plus, my hand is at an atrocious angle to do this. I got to build up my muscles again for drawing, holding my arm out the whole time. You, my friends, can just do it as you've been doing everything else, flat down on the table. But it was important to me to give you the best quality video I could, and so having this up and this up, because if I had this one flat, then the perspective would be different, and you wouldn't see it. It wouldn't be as good. Just trust me. So there you go. That's how much I love you guys, making my shoulder just scream right now already. That's okay. I'll do this a few times. Muscles will come back and they'll be great. Okay. So I continue to give it this difference in value, and that's what's making for the line. And not really a outline this time, but a contour line. Contour line. Much more natural. Contour lines. Remember, what does a line do? A line separates one thing from another. That's what a line is. And so even though you don't have, a line like you see like a line like this line here, that is still, well, I'd consider that a line. That's a line. That's separation between the one value and the other value. Alrighty then. Okay. So we've got that. And so then we can see like, well, this is obviously a darker value than this. But what about here? And it looks like the values out here are actually lighter than these values here. So we've got this a really dark value. We'll make this more of a medium value. Right. And did you ever look at a white thing before and just think, well, it's just white? That's the only thing there. It's white. And now that you've had a little bit of training, you can look at something and say, no, there is so much going on in something that is white. So much going on I never paid attention to before. And I do white for this first drawing, do something white. Something simple and something white around your house or around the classroom. Because white really shows off values well. There's no hiding it with white. And try and get all the subtleties of how you see the values flowing in a certain area. And you can see how nice the shading is with a wooden pencil. Boy, I still have people in class. It's a week into class and they're still monkeying around with those mechanical pencils. All right, there we go. See, it's a little darker down here. Hopefully when I'm pointing to something, it's something close to what you're looking at there. Okay, now it's really dark under here. Okay, and that shadow is coming around. You see how it gets a little bit fatter over here? Really deep, deep core shadow right underneath there. Hey, isn't that what we were talking about? You know, with these deep core shadows right in these edges. Yeah. Remember how we were talking about the shadow coming out? Now this one's a little different because since it's reality, we have, in addition to the shadow, we have a little bit of reflection in the white area. But that's kind of cool. We won't deal with that today, but in the future, we will very soon, very soon. Maybe the next lesson, I don't know. And then you can make some really impressive drawings. Okay, this is a little bit darker here. Okay, and then let's get a little bit of the darkers under here. Oh, look at all the like wonderful reflected light in these areas. So much going on in this bottle. Wouldn't think of it. What a simple bottle it is, and yet so much. My goodness. Okay. Ready. And bring this down a little bit here. Okay. And this is not going to be the neatest drawing in the world. I don't want to make this tutorial last too long, right? And so let's see where this shadow is coming from. So you could picture like if there was an oval here, where would that shadow be coming from? That other side of that oval right over there. Hey, remember this? Just like what we were doing on here. Okay, anyway, so there it is, right from that oval, right here. That's where the real live shadow is coming from. And now it's cool because we can really see things. And so, for instance, we can see that this shadow, even though we've tried to get a nice solid light, has so much going on in it. It's really, really cool, this shadow. Right? It's got something going on here. It's got some light from the light above here going over there, giving me a second shadow over here. We won't deal with that today. You know, I can only get my lighting so good in here. Maybe in the future we'll get much better lighting. That's not super dark there. In fact, we've got that little bit. I said we wouldn't get into it, but you know what? I'll tell you the truth. Reflections are so easy and they're so impressive, right? People dig that stuff, man. But and don't tell them it's easy. That'll be our secret, right? But it is. It is. Just put the values in. Shapes and values. That's all it comes down to. Okay. And here, something like that, right? And then it gets a little softer on that edge, right in there. And right in here. Softer, softer, and darker, darker. Okay. I'll get going before the bell rings, and we'll hear all the kids. It's wonderful. I like being at a high school. It's fun, actually, to be at a high school. Okay, so now this area right here is really, that's pretty dark, isn't it? That's pretty dark, all right. We'll just put that area in. Ooh, and you see how that darkness, we call that negative space. That really already started to form that handle, didn't it? Right? And then this side over here, that's a little darker. Now this, ooh, let's get this nice and dark so we have somewhere to go with it. Because if we got only so much values with the pencil. So this is a little bit darker over here on this side, isn't it? And then this is really dark on the edge right here. That's pretty dark too, right? And this is medium. Then we've got this beautiful white spot in here. right in there. You can see that. And then it gets a little bit darker as it's coming around here. Right? And then a little bit right in here. And it's making that soft molding of this area right in here. Okay, all that wonderful shading. You can see this nice reflected light around there and how the values change right there. So much going on. Okay, and just this little guy right here. What we'll do is we'll give it this little value up in here. And here. And then we'll come back and we'll put in this little, with our eraser. That eraser is kind of a neat tool for putting in reflected light. There and here. And let's see here. I have to whip out my left hand to start drawing this stuff. Oh boy, I can't wait. I'm going to be doing the sketchbooks along with you guys this year. I'll put it up on my YouTube channel. Maybe some people in the general public will start watching them. I'll make all that YouTube money. I'll retire. No, I wouldn't retire. I wouldn't do that anyways. I have too much fun teaching. Okay, there we go. So we've got that. And we'll define that just a bit more. All right. I know we shouldn't have an outline, but we'll define it a little bit more. That'll make it a little bit nicer. Here, good enough, good enough. We'll get this up here. And here. And even there's that second little ridge right there. And here, and here. And this area here, let's get this all nice and clean because that's where that beautiful light really is shining down on that. And then by contrast, we've got some good light right on that edge and then some shadows right in there. And right under there. And right about here. Right, then. And this is all in shadow over here. Alright. Now sometimes when you're doing this stuff, you might want to exaggerate. Okay. Might want to exaggerate just a little bit. Sometime we'll be studying art and we can look at the period after the Renaissance, the Mannerist period and stuff, and the Rococo and all that kind of good stuff, where they're really exaggerating stuff. It's really interesting, very theatrical. And so more and more I would just go ahead and then refine and just find where my light is, find where my darks are, just making it better and better and better, getting my darks where the darks go, making them a bit more powerful where I want to. That's really going to bring things out. And maybe a little bit more over here. If you ever need to, just squint through your eyes. A little bit underneath here. Okay, let's get a little bit darker over here. A little bit more right into here. Definitely a bit more here. Oops, that line was a little bit too solid, but oh well. Oh well. This one's not going in the loop, I guess. A little bit more over here. We already have this nice and dark here. Here, okay. And so, from my point of view, it might be a little bit different from where you're seeing it, but from my point of view, it's not too bad. Not the best drawing ever, But we'll get better and better. Like I was saying, I want to practice doing my drawing as well this year. Let's get a little bit more overall value into it. We'll steal a little bit from Peter to pay Paul over here. Okay. And that it's that daily, not daily, weekly drawing that's really gonna change things for you, just really dramatically. Here, I mean, even for myself, I'm gonna try and record him in such a way that you can see him, and even just practicing holding my arm in this manner, going to get better and better because the muscles get better. And the seeing, all the seeing gets better. Ooh, look at that light there. Where else we got light? We got light over here. That was a good place for a little bit of light. Definitely have some light over here. All right, that's looking good. Ooh, there was a couple of highlights over here. Anywhere else? I think that that's pretty good. Dirty it up all around a little bit. That way I don't have to be too clean. Okay, and so then that's pretty good. And so what is this? This is drawing number 12, isn't it? So go ahead, and this is drawing. And that is 12. And that is observational. Okay. And of course, who are you? And I'll put my last name and my first. And my period number. Let's say that's period 2. I don't know. Maybe that's period 3 as well. Who knows? And then I've got, this is exercise number 12. And this is just the beginning. So, yeah, we're going to keep working at it and get you some really good, strong, realistic techniques. We'll work on our creativity as we go on. I just want to, in this boot camp, I want you to be able to draw this good. You should be able to draw this good at least pretty quickly, pretty soon, right off the bat. Okay, well, hope you've enjoyed and looking forward to the next tutorial. Maybe what I'll do is try and move the light also to the other side so I have the shadow going back, do a supplement with that. Okay, take care. Here's bugging me. I just need a little bit more right there.